Today is December 2nd of the year 2022. It has been according to LinkedIn a full year and a half of day trading. I focused on day trading and attempted to make it the center of my life until I become consistently profitable. It has been a year and a half. And by this measure, I should be consistently profitable at this stage. Based on one of the pros, as an example, who have taken courses through someone. 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. 6 months massive loss, 6 months small loss, and then 6 months small gains. I should be at this juncture, I should be making small gains at this point. Today's day trading has shown me that I still have a long way to go. This is a reality check, and there are things that are happening to me that I would love to say that time does not matter at this stage. However, if I were to continue like this, there are things that are worn out. Okay. My body wears out, my shoulder wears out, and lots of things will happen. My car will wear out. Fortunately for me, the car still runs very well, and I am so thankful that I have a dealership who has been so kind to me. Thank you. And I am so grateful that I have the people at Office Evolution who allows me to use their resources to learn and trade stocks. I am so grateful. Thirdly, I am grateful that I have the opportunity to work as a dishwasher. That has allowed me to keep afloat, moving forward, pay for gas, pay for insurance, pay for the phone, pay for a room where I can take a shower and sleep, and be able to afford this place and afford a place to go park my car, and afford me to buy food. And I am so grateful. And I am so grateful for UK spread betting. They have been so generous to me. It's just the fact that I was able to name something that I had no idea what was conclusively, the inner being. It's hard to believe, but for me, it was very difficult to pinpoint and exactly label it. I didn't realize that until they helped me to label it. I am very thankful. I am so thankful that I have been allowed to participate in their membership. Obviously, if I am not a reasonable person who respects other members of the community, then no amount of money will allow anyone to be part of that group, because it's a set amount of money. It's a small set of money, and I am so thankful. I am so thankful that it appears that my kids have given this opportunity. It appears to me that they don't want to burden me with their life So I am so thankful that they're giving me this opportunity to totally engross myself in uh, the the skill of day trading. One day, uh, there has been a couple people who asked me if I had kids, and I told them I do. But inside, I'm saying to myself, yeah, but they've just flown away. They haven't told me where they are or given me contact information. But I do have children, so I am so thankful. Now, I am also very thankful that I have uh, a really good friend who I can just bounce ideas off of, send things over, and respond. So he and we're on the same journey. He uses a slightly different method for day trading, but so his is more like primarily based on similar to swing trading, utilizing options strategies. So I am incredibly thankful. Now I'm going to be incredibly thankful because I know that I will figure this out. One day everything will click and I will figure this out. And when that happens, someone will provide some sort of information that allows me to figure this out. And for that person, whatever that situation is, I am going to be very, very thankful because I am right now fact checking about myself to determine whether I'm ready to be considered a consistently profitable day trader at this stage. The fact checking right now so far has told me that maybe I'm not. However, I have been able to accumulate funds. Today wasn't really a prime example of the path that I've chosen or representation of the skill sets that I've built so far, and it has told me that perhaps I still have some novice characteristics by not being able to cut my losses and still adding to a loser. However, I have in my mind what I need to do in order to move forward with this situation. And the situation is this. I've recorded 5 times, including today, the fact that uh, I have carried a trade overnight. That's a fact. And in those days, those trades usually, consistently, 100% have been losers. And if I were to add on to it, it would result in further losses. So therefore, the things that I have been doing so far are successful as long as I stop carrying a trade overnight. Now, once I do that, once I do that, once I do that, once I do that, then I the only thing that I can say right now is I think I have to keep proving myself. So I have earmarked the middle of December to reach my second milestone, but I've taken a serious step back, and I'm not getting younger at all. And so I hope I figured this out. I hope it feels like right now, right now it feels like I'm in a parallel universe with the individuals who are successful and the individuals who are not successful, and I'm in this area where I am the individual who is not successful. And so it's like they're here and they're here. It's like faith. It's like being a Christian. I've discussed this with, I've sent this, this, uh, the thought to my Catholic deacon that it felt like before I became before I became a Christian, that it felt like everything was window dressing, as though I mean window shopping, as though I was looking from one side to the other side, and day trading is certainly like that. So have I? So it begs to ask myself this question: am I a Christian? And fortunately for me, there are a few people who believe I am. I don't know that. I believe I am. I don't know 100% because how do you know God 100%? You don't know. There's you just have to believe in faith. So I believe that's what it is. That is the litmus test of transitioning over to the other side and being in that window where others are looking in and wondering what Christianity is. I believe I am. I truly do. I said this past several days actually. What does amen mean? I believe. I mean, what else can you do? Because it's faith. There's and God moves me in the direction because he created me in his own image. So, if I were to relate that, then I just penetrated. I just penetrated with a single faith and belief that it is, and I penetrated to the other side and became a Christian. Now I'm on this side of a unsuccessful day trader, and this side is a successful day trader. Now I'm embarking. It took me about 5 years to become a Christian, right? 5 years to become a Christian. Let's put it this way. I have a very good Christian brother who would question my Christianity. Okay? I even named my legal name. It's recorded in the state of Idaho as Christian. And he was questioning me my sincerity and genuine love and acceptance of Jesus Christ as my savior, right? I see him as my savior. Today I could have been fired. Okay. A new regime has taken over Westside Drive-In. These are young people. There's no place for an old person like me. And I could have said or done something to offend these young individuals. And that could easily have been done. And they are a group and they know each other. I'm an outsider. I'm an old man who's working there due to a favor of the owner who has been so kind to allow me to work there. I could just easily be just like that, be gone. Fortunately, God has saved my life to allow me to work there. Somehow, miraculously, I'm essentially an outsider in that world. The only binding criteria is me being a Christian, a Catholic Christian. And I'm able to survive even though I have nothing in common with everyone else there. Okay. I have absolutely no commonality except for me being a Christian and the favor that I'm receiving from the owner who has been so kind to me. I could have easily have just been fired for reasonable cause brought upon by my deficiencies. However, the faith in me has tamed whatever it is, and it has placed it into a box and thrown it into the corner such that my behavior and actions are appropriate for proper and acceptable employment. Why do I say that? Because I work there and I will work there tomorrow. Okay? That's a fact. And when I make that statement, it's a fact. Probably 99% is because they're generous. That's a fact. So, I am so fortunate that I will be given the opportunity to proceed with this however long it takes. And I pray that the restaurant, without that restaurant, a felon like me with my personality, no one will. They'll try me out, but I don't carry conversations. I don't carry conversations except for stocks and and Christianity. Okay, those two things I talk about. So so right now, those are the two things that any if somebody were to communicate in that manner, then we could probably communicate for quite a while. But anything else, I have no desire. I have absolutely no desire. And when that happens, most people talk about something else, right? Um, I won't go into detail because I'll probably get fired. You see, I'm an old man. I've talked about those things. I've done all those things. So I don't need to do that anymore. Nor do I wish to continue doing those things. So I'm so fortunate. I'm out of place, but I will do my work. My shoulder hurts like, oh my God. So what I purposely do is once I get in, I work my ass off. Once I get out, then I'm out. In between those times, I attempt to communicate as little as possible and fill every moment of that time with work. Hard work. That will compensate for the quiet and introspective and personality in me. That's what I think. I'll work tomorrow. Thank God. So that's where I am. Now, I sent a text message to my buddy of mine. He's 2 hours ahead. So he's like, it's 12 o'clock right there. Probably about 11 o'clock when I sent it to him. So he works late. Hard worker. He's successful in his way. But I need to find my own way. So I am planning on, he'll be the first person that we will get together as soon as I reach milestone number 3. When I reach milestone number 3, it means that I've succeeded. Milestone number 4 and milestone number 5 is just a matter of, it really doesn't matter. Milestone number 2 has I have to reach that and then go to milestone number 3. It seems like milestone number 2 is so difficult. Maybe milestone number 2 is the most difficult part. And then milestone number 3, just repeat of getting into milestone number 2. I thought milestone number 3, because of the amount of money that's involved, would be it. But it seems like milestone number 2 seems to be it seems to be, because there seems to be a hurdle. And I hope to discover this. So when I get to a certain point, I get wild. I get wild like a wild man. And when I do that, I just throw money around and then expect something to occur because, hey, I have more anyway. Even if it goes down, it doesn't matter. That's the thinking that I have. But when I was down here, I'm really, really careful. I think about what I'm going. Yeah, that's the missing part. So what is it? So what I need to do is stop window shopping. I need to stop window shopping and penetrate right through. I made an incredible success so far within the point of the low recently, and I've climbed up. Today, I've taken a serious step back, and I'm hoping that it will not cause a tilt in me to trade like a maniac. So what I need to do, is um, go back. Just ignore the overhead I have, and then use this amount. Use this amount that got me successful this point to this point. That's what I need to do, right? So don't touch this. Just keep it in there, but don't touch this, and use this to work it out, and never go above it. And when I do that, then my mindset will be, maybe that's it. Maybe because all the information is out there. Everything is out there. It's getting things together, piecing it together, and putting it to my muscle memory and my thought process. I believe that's what it is. That's what I believe. I believe that's it. I believe people who get very lucky, they'll just put everything in it and just blow it because there's no. A lot of the professional day traders talk about like risk management. Yeah, I am very, very risk averse when I'm down here. I'm very, very cautious. I'm cautious. But I do recognize certain, then it allows me to make slight adjustments at a point where I recognize that there is a point where I can take real action, and then take as much as I can. Because there are situations that I see, a perfect scenario, like an A plus setup. There is, believe it, I believe it. There are instances where it's a perfect setup. So becoming a Christian, window dressing, hey, window, and then penetrating it with just pure faith and yeah, it's faith. How do you know something until you completely accept it 100%? How do you become something until you 100% accept it? So what I will do starting next week is I've assessed it. I will not hold overnight. I've recorded it for the past 2 weeks. Those are the situations where it's telling me, okay, I went in, yeah, I lost money, okay, but it was acceptable loss, but I still held it so that it carried over to the next day. So that means I need to cut it right there. So that is one fix. Second part is I'm going to be careful with the amount of money that I trade. Okay, those are the two adjustments that I will make. And once I make those two adjustments and trade for a while, then I will know whether the adjustments that I made is successful or not successful. So I look forward to, that's it. That's essentially it. That's a small adjustment. And I'll keep working at it. Like I said, every piece of the puzzle is so important. The dealership oh my God, these people don't realize how important that car is to me. Without that car, I cannot go to work. Okay, I cannot have a reliable transportation. I know that's a reliable transportation because I bought it brand new, used it, went to a dealership. These are reputable individuals with consistency, like a consistently profitable day trader. They are consistent in daily maintenance of vehicles and selling of new vehicles. They live on that. They have no idea how important that car is to me. And this place, it must be the work of God. I'll tell you what, I was bouncing off public libraries. I was going to BSU, and I was dozing off at BSU, and they tossed me out into the cold. I was at the airport, but their internet is so slow. I can't. What do you do when the internet? And I'm think about this. I'm there, a homeless guy, sitting at the airport. There's a booth there. Right across from here is a bank. This bank right there, right across the other side of Alpha's Evolution. They, they, in cooperation, I believe, with University of Idaho, are giving free internet while people are at the airport, which was very thankful, but it was just agonizingly slow. And then somehow, after all that, the cost of installing internet where I am and living in a working in imagine that 9 by 9 room. The thought of that is essentially, yeah, these people have no idea how thankful I am. Even though I'm an introvert, I would like to sit here and watch people walk by, right? Because I'm human. I am a social human being. I don't talk much, but I am a social human being. I would like to be around other people. I don't want to talk to them, but I would like to be around them. It's weird, isn't it? I feel like I want to be alive instead of being a 9 by 9 room just in front of a. Anyway, I'm not sure how that works, but so this is so important. This is like 20 meg per second. We're talking about 20 meg. I can make YouTube videos, make this like 30 minutes or an hour long, and I can just zip it up and put it on my YouTube channel. It's incredible. Okay? The car, this place, and the restaurant, even though I don't get paid much, it pays for everything. It pays for everything. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna pay the supervision. I have to figure out how I'm gonna save that. And then my intention is to grow this day trading so that I can pay off everything else. And then I'm going to get a dream car. Wow. I have to get my kids' things and my ex-wife things, and hopefully all these things will occur. And then I'll get a brand new car, dream vehicle. And then things will start to. Then I will go to the Knights of Columbus meetings. Right now, as like 1 foot in the homeless life, it's very difficult to sit in front of a Knights of Columbus meeting. And especially when I'm working at night, and these meetings are held at night for people who work during the day, so they can take time when they don't work in the evening, so they can meet in the evening. So it's something that so when it's time, things will work out. So essentially, those things, and also I'm not sure. It must be the hand of God, and church, and that's why church is so important. I think. I believe. I've been going to the church, and some people know me, the kind of a person I am, and they're able to extend kindness to me, and has allowed me to find this 9 by 9 room where I could sleep and go upstairs and take a shower. So I'm so thankful. If I don't have that, renting from here is so. Just imagine this. Some of these apartments around here essentially they don't rent to felons. They don't. See, this is something that I didn't know about when I will not mention anymore about the circumstances that led to me being a criminal. It's over and done with. What I will say is this. There's a movie called Shawshank Redemption, and this man was convicted, and he insisted to everyone he's innocent. And they made a movie out of that. And so there are cases, um, there are cases like that. And I'm hoping one of these days, someday, the truth will, it doesn't matter. I will finish the 10 years of probation that the state of Idaho has given me. But I hope someday those people who are involved will know the truth. I pray to God they figure out the truth one day. And me being a Christian, a Catholic Christian, has taught me, okay, well, the other part is my life is basically this way anyway. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I'm an introvert. So most things don't apply to me whatsoever. So, so the things that probations generate are limitations. However, most of my life is within the umbrella of the things that I enjoy in life are within the acceptable criterias of the program of the of supervision as a felon. The hard part is like getting an apartment, probably buying a house. If I become successful, I hope to do that one of these days. I would love to enjoy living in a house before I meet my maker. I hope to do that one day. I accept the fact that I'm given the opportunity to live in this 9 by 9 room, knowing that I will not be there the rest of my life. I have hope that what I'm doing right now will allow me to escape from that situation. I would love to I would love to allow my kids to know that uh, due to this circumstance, I'm living in this situation. However, I'm making the best of it and uh, moving forward and uh, have moved on and hope, hope that those who are involved will know the truth. Just the truth. There will be no consequences, but I hope that they will know the truth one day. That's that's plenty. Um, that's plenty of compensation for the suffering that I've suffered so far. Let me just tell you something about the situation. My mother passed away, and there was no way for me to see my mother, uh, and she just left this world. And um, now I've thought about this. There is a benefit of that. She was deteriorating, and fortunately, I was not there to see her deteriorate. But um, that is something that would be very, very difficult for me to forgive. I will not do anything about it, but that's something that that is that is something. See, I lost my eye recently, about 6 months ago. One of my eye. That's nothing compared to the that that separation. That is that is really truly very, very awful. Truly. So um, now this is it. This is where I am, and I am all these things. The community has allowed me to get to this point. I've achieved milestone number one, and I was very close. I almost dropped below anyway, but I'm trying to get there. I'm excited. I'm so thankful. My trading buddy says you will work it out. Oh, wow. That's confidence. I appreciate it. That's it's gonna happen. Okay, think about this. I got from here to here, okay, and there, and then back. So what if I consider this place as here, right? Move it over here and then get to here. That's a possibility too. So whatever I did needs to fit into that particular situation and repeat it. So what has changed? What has changed? I'm stitching together the thinking that I have and how I came to this point. This must be very important. So here I am. The market was very favorable in the thesis that I had in making these trades. And what I've noticed is that I tended to say a lot of things like, oh, um, I could have held longer and made more money, but I didn't. So that seems to be a common theme in me progressing. Because when I lose, that means that I've done something and I didn't get out. That means that I've lost, which is perfectly what happened today. And so multiple times, I had multiple chances of just, anyway. So starting Monday, the price that I paid is actually giving me the opportunity to sit here and then really think it out, and plan things out, and make these subtle adjustments that I have, because I've been at it for about a year and a half. Okay, I've been actively at it for a year and a half. Granted, I didn't have the fortune of the resources like UK spread betting and Al Brooks. I've been looking at Al Brooks, but right now, most of what he says doesn't make any sense to me at this point. That means that I'm really far behind in whatever he's attempting to teach me. So I have that going. And then I have this Mark guy of UK spread betting who has given me uh, a credit by for me to rejoin his club membership, but he gave me a free price action course, which I will move into after I'm done with Al Brooks. So hopefully these things will stitch together, and price action, that seems to be really good, because that's what I've been doing right now. Looking at candles, I'm stitching everything together right now. Because candlesticks is actually price action. It really is. Candlesticks, jump, price action goes like that. Like it tells a story. So I need to figure out. So there's more. So Al Brooks is essentially teaching me what candle action is. Okay? Why does it go up, and then why did it open, go up, and then drop, and then come back up like that, right? So why does it do that? Why does it start from the top and just drop and then just do that? That is one of the candles that are dramatically, if when I'm on the wrong side, I mean, it's like it's like somebody using the pliers and anywhere on the body. I mean, just think about where the worst part of it is. They just crunch it and twist it, kind of thing, right? That's what it is when I'm on the other side, because I don't know until it's too late. That's the problem. By that time, it's like, oh my God, what happened to my capital? That's exactly almost what happened today. So I'm stitching together, and hopefully, we're not talking about. I mean, these people are like very good at what they do. I mean, I'm already convinced that this guy at UK Spreading has like so many videos. And then Al Brooks, he's got, I mean, how many hours is that? Like 55 hours or something like that? It's amazing. Oh man, I've been sitting through there. I'm like, I haven't gone through all the way yet. Um, so that's where I am. So that's the game plan. So what I will do is make that slight adjustment of those two things, and hopefully I will remember that. But I know from the past that it's so difficult. I know from the fact that I told myself I will not add to a loser, and I keep doing it. I know it. It happens. And I know that there's this side of me. It's me. There's a side of me that does that. And even if I wanted to like stop at whatever expense, it will not stop. I just know it. So the best thing to do is get adequate sleep. Make sure that the outside world is not too intrusive into my world, and keep focusing on whatever it is, and allow God to just see. This is so fascinating. I have to mention this. In my cell phone right now, this is Pixel 6, and there is a camera right there, and there is a reflection that surrounds it. There's a camera with a very, very clear circle right in the middle, small, and then there's a blotch right around it. Maybe it's my forehead, reflection of my forehead, but it's making it like it's encasing in it. So I told a young, very young coworker. I told him, hey, um, being a Christian is like being inside of a center of the hurricane, where there's peace and tranquility inside, while there's turbulence everywhere. When I look at a satellite picture, most likely in the Florida region of the United States, there's hurricanes every year, multiple times. The satellite picture shows swirling of chaos, lightning, and utter destructive power that carries itself across and it may go into the land and then become a tornado. So I am aware of that situation, and it seems that's what I thought. And when Jesus Christ walked on the water, on the sea, and got on the boat, and he said, "Sea, be calm," and the sea became calm. So it is the center. The existence of the world around me is chaotic. I've been kicked out of BSU. Uh, Boise Library has restrictive hours. It's, homeless people, you know, uh, and the airport really, yeah, it's for people who are traveling, not for homeless people to be sitting there using their internet every day. Um, yeah. So I am so fortunate. So God has created this this safety zone. This zone is safe. Even the probation officers are, they know I'm here. That's what I do. I wake up, come here, and then from here go to work, and then from work I come over here, spend a few more hours, and then from here I go to the room, I sleep, and then from the room I come back here every day. Every day. For the past, including the homeless shelter, that's what I was doing. Instead, the homeless shelter now is a room. So that's what I've been doing for the past year. Past little Now it's a little bit over a year now. September marked 1 full year. October, November, December. Now I'm going like 1 year and 3 months now. And I pray that I don't upset the owners in any way. I mean, I'm trying to make this work. If I get to milestone number 3, I will be able to. The comfort level is reaching milestone number 5. The comfort level, because I'll have substantial amount where I can be independent at that point. And if there's any drawdowns that occurs, then I can absorb it. I can survive it without outside income. But right now, that is very, very important. And I pray to God that. So there at work, I got on, I work my ass off, and then close, I go home. That's it. And even if whoever has the authority doesn't like me, um, because I just focus on work and be like a robot, that is intentional. The only thing I want to do is work all the way through. I don't want to upset anyone. And then when my job is done at this time, I want to go home. I don't want any feelings of ill whatsoever detracting me from getting in, work, and then go home. And I'm going to keep doing that. And I pray that is an acceptable formula for continuous work. So that's what I've been doing so far. And essentially, God, and I'm smiling now because I'm so fortunate. I am so thankful. I had to say thankful this like first part. These people they know I'm weird. I'm weird. I just sit here, I trade stocks, okay? And they know I don't say much. I don't they know that. They know. I get this chicken. I have a gallon of milk. It's sitting in the refrigerator. Before it expires, I replace it. So they know that this gallon of milk is right there. And I buy this $5 chicken that sits there, and I take part of it and I eat it. Right? This chicken right there from Costco, which Costco cost me a lot of money today. So the price of buying this chicken is an immense loss in the stock market from its stock. Anyway, so and one of the manager at Colorado Microchip, he said this to me. He says, I think it's basically shifting of the sands because I did take a few out from Costco stock. Now I'm giving it back, so it's just shifting of the sands. It's true. Um, the reality is, sure it is when I'm an amateur, but when I'm a professional day trader, consistently profitable uh, uh, professional day trader, then my pockets will be full of sand. And I'll get so much sand that I don't know where to put it. That's how it's going to be as a consistently profitable day trader. That's how it's going to be. Right now, I'm so thankful. I'm not sure how long it's going to take me. I'm not a very bright guy. If I was bright, I would have figured this out already. 6 months into it, not even 6 months. If I was I know that I'm not bright. If I was a smart man, I would have figured this out like a long time ago. That's a fact. That's a fact. I work tomorrow, so I'm employed. That's a fact. I'm not a very smart man. That's a fact. Because if I was smart, I would have figured this out. Al Brooks, with all due respect, he has a PhD or a medical doctor, right? Um, it took him 10 years. As far as day trading is concerned, he's not a very smart man either. He may be smart in that area, spotchy area, but he's not a very smart man. Now he is. He's extremely bright. He's able to sell programs, but getting to that point, so I don't know how to put it. He's a bright man in general. Anyway, so how does that work? It took him 10 years to become it took him 10 years to be a consistently profitable day trader. All right? So it took him, and he's a Christian too. So what happened? I don't know what happened. I mean, he went to medical school and he graduated from medical school and he was practicing medicine, and yet it took him 10 years. So I don't know. I have no idea. So I don't know how to label him. We'll just leave it. We'll just put it somewhere. Maybe he wasn't focused at all. I don't know. So you can't put intelligence on it. For me, I was very focused. That tells me I'm not very smart. Um, I'm okay with that because God created me the way that I was supposed to be, perfectly fit into what I was supposed to be. So I'm okay with that. Anyway, so now that's why at the center of this hurricane is this safety zone where God has created this safety area where I am able to essentially live in heaven. That's what it is. I'm getting a taste of heaven right now. That's what it is. Wow! Whoa!